Yo, it's your boy Doncho. Welcome back to the Hideout, you guys. I'm so glad you guys can make it. And as you guys know, we're talking about Jujutsu Kaisen chapter 143. Yeah, your boy was right. I was right. I called it. I said it. Yuta was a double agent. I said it from jump. I knew my mans wasn't going to trade on the squad. Yuta just too much of a real one. Of course, you know Gojo, too good of a sensei. Gojo got to make sure all his pupils tapped in. He don't play them games. You know what I'm saying? That's my mentor. That is my mentor. I love Gojo. And then we got the big old reveal with Yuji's parents, dad, mom being BRAIN-KUN, Grandpa ITADORI. Just a lot was going on in this chapter. A lot was going on in this chapter. And we're going to talk about all of it. We're going to get to every bit of it because you know my boy Gumi back as well. But as I always say, if you guys like this content, if you want some more from me, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that comment section, okay? And you hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so you don't miss anything else coming from the Hideout. We got some craziness to get into, you guys. So let's go ahead and get to the intro. Boom. Where do I begin? The beginning of the chapter. So, all right, you guys. This chapter was a doozy. 143 was freaking fantastic, y'all. Like, this was great. Everything from top to bottom, front to back, everything broken down, everything explained, everything we got, every interaction was great, right? And then we begin with the beginning of the chapter with Yuta basically telling the Naoya, yo dog, you seem like you're going through it. Naoya in his feelings. I like that, you know, Naoya still has that Zenin thing to him where he's all like, listen, my day, like I'm still me. And he's all like, don't look down on me, kid, because you know it's clear Yuta's younger than him, but stronger. And, you know, he's all like, don't look down on me. That's that Zenin, that's that Naoya proud. And she's supposed to be the future head, possibly, whatever happens of the Zenin clan. So, you know, he got that little pride to him, but he starts throwing up. The poison from Choso starts getting to him. And what's really interesting is that us seeing that Naoya is being affected by this poison makes me think back to Yuriyume, right? Because I was always thinking about, okay, is Yuriyume a curse or is Yuriyume a Jujutsu sorcerer? Now I think it's kind of been confirmed that Yuriyume is a Jujutsu sorcerer because Naoya says that the blood manipulation doesn't have a poison technique with it. And then he breaks down that, okay, what must be going on is that this guy isn't really even human, hence him getting his ass beat the way he did, and that he's actually a fully fleshed curse, and that the blood of a non-human created from the, you know, a curse energy and stuff like that being inside Naoya's human body now affecting him, it's causing it to be poison. It's acting like poison because his body is rejecting that, you know what I'm saying, unnatural poison, which I find really interesting. So Yuriyume's all like, oh, I'm poisoned because Yuriyume's a regular human Jujutsu sorcerer who does the reverse technique, and that blood is messing with their human blood. So that to me kind of confirms that Yuriyume is a Jujutsu sorcerer. Just a little tidbit there that no. But it's really cool that we got that breakdown of what Choso's blood is doing to Naoya. And then we get Yuta saying, oh, I can heal you with curse technique. So now we have a confirmation again. Yuta still has the ability to heal people with curse technique. That's awesome to know. We got that in there. And then so Yuta basically is all like, I can heal you, but you got to tell your superiors that Yuji Itadori is dead. Oh, so that's how Yuta's in here moving, right? He's over here like, dog, this whole thing, I ain't really been on your side, motherfucker. Like, I ain't really fucking with you, dog. Like, I ain't really on the wave you on. I find that so cool. Yuta really came back and said, yo, I'm faking all this shit just to help out Yuji. I find it so cool. Like, the way that Akutami did this, let me not get ahead of myself. I want to continue going on, right? So then when we continue on, let's focus on the next piece that we get with the flashback. Talking about Grandpa Itadori, Jin, now that we know being Yuji's dad, him holding baby Yuji, and then we get the pop-up surprise of the woman that BRAIN-KUN is occupying. First things first, we get Jin being called out to by Grandpa Itadori. And Jin responds, aka Yuji's dad responds saying, what do you want, father? If you want to talk about her, I'm just going to leave. Like, he just doesn't want to hear it. One of those, okay, dad, you're going to complain about this woman that I'm with again, right? And then so Grandpa Itadori is like, listen, bro, you can live your life. You can do whatever you want to do. But what I'm trying to tell you right now is that get away from this woman because you will die. What's up with that? Why is he so sure? What makes him so sure that if Jin was to continue on with the woman that we see in a second, right, that we see soon, why is he so sure that he will die? Does he already know something is up with BRAIN-KUN being in this woman's body? Or does he know that this woman has already died, so he's surprised that she's around? Are the Itadori really even a family of Jujutsu sorcerers? Like, it's just making me, is that even their real names? Are they really the Itadoris? Was that changed because of the situation with BRAIN-KUN? Maybe they need to change names or something. It's a lot of things I'm interested in, and I wonder, you know, what could be going on here. And so Jin continues by saying, Dad, let's not have these type of conversations around Yuji. Baby, it's weird how babies can like tap in certain memories, remember certain things, and you get baby Yuji with the question mark over his head, and all of this is happening technically in the memory flashback for Yuji while he's knocked out, right? That's pretty cool. So we still have this memory stuff being put into it. We know that Akutami said that the memory manipulation is not an ability thing, it's something else. So now I'm starting to think, what if the memory stuff is an after effect of being someone born from BRAIN-KUN being inside someone's body? And that could be an effect of the brain on the body going into, you know what I'm saying, cursed energy, and the things that we don't fully understand about what the brain does to the body when it comes to cursed energy. So what if these siblings like Choso and Yuji have maybe this memory type of connection thing because they're all technically related to the BRAIN-KUN through the brain, not through the physical body of the people that they are, if that's making sense, right? So maybe that brain, his personal implant that he's putting on these people, even though he's using people's physical bodies to maybe reproduce others, his implant could be memory related because he is a brain. I don't know. That's kind of what my mindset is going at, but who knows where that could go from. But if we continue on with the chapter and we actually get that reveal of Grandpa Itadori saying to him, I know you wanted a child with Kaori, but if you stay with this woman and then the woman cuts him off a going father-in-law, what are you guys talking about? And smiling. And it's almost this like, it's this evil smile, you know, evil, malicious smile, because I feel like BRAIN-KUN knows that Grandpa Itadori is onto him. So I'm trying to figure out, does BRAIN-KUN end up killing Yuji's dad for some reason, and then Grandpa Itadori ends up escaping somehow with Yuji, and then BRAIN-KUN's all like, okay, well, the plan's already in motion, no matter what happens, I could go do me, and then he ends up finding Yuji later down the line, helps Yuji find that one Sukuna finger. Gojo sends Megumi to go look for this same certain Sukuna finger. You know, it could be these possible things could have lined up and create our storyline and create our plot. It's on some BRAIN-KUN could have established all of this, trying to get it ready for Sukuna to come back alive so he can bring about the Age of Curse techniques. So for all we know, this Geto dude, this BRAIN-KUN dude, is literally doing, or female, he could have originally been a woman for all we know, could possibly be doing all of this just to not only help Sukuna, but bring back the Age of Curse techniques like he said, and optimize curse energy for human use. Or he's just insane and said, if I bring Sukuna back, it'll help. I'm just really interested in where Akutami is going to take this storyline and take this plot point. That's all I really have on it off the top of my head right now as we're talking about the chapter, you guys. But I would love to hear what you guys have to say in the comment section below. But as we're continuing on with the chapter, we get Yuji waking up, right? And that was, I guess, that's him experiencing a little bit of that memory, you know what I'm saying? But maybe him thinking it's a dream, maybe he doesn't remember it, he's just waking up from it, but us as a viewer, we got that information, right? And Yuta's above him, sitting there looking at him, and Yuji looks at him, he's kind of worried, and then Yuta just smiles at him. And I just find it so awesome that Yuta is smiling, because now we get to go back to the Yuta that we knew before. It's really funny because you can still tell that Yuta's been through some things, and he definitely feels older, definitely looks more worn and more experienced, but he's still able to have that bright side smile to him, that light thinking. And I figured that's who he still truly was after seeing him return, and he helped out that little kid in the beginning of like chapter 137 or something like that, right? So it's really awesome to see him like that, and just getting that mini interaction between Yuta and Yuji just feels really good. And Yuta going into the explanation of, yeah, back in September, Gojo pulled up on me and was all like, yeah, so I have a bad feeling, like I feel like something's going to happen. And Yuta makes this funny joke like, what, you're gonna get a girlfriend or something? That's hilarious, okay? That's very funny, because Gojo's like, oh, so you trying to make a joke? Like, what's the joke? The joke that you are getting a girlfriend? And if the joke is that because you're getting a girlfriend is because that you don't like girls, Gojo? Or is it because women don't like you? But we do know women like you, so Interesting. And then so, like I said, continuing on, Gojo's basically talking to Yuta and he's explaining everything like, yo, I basically feel like something's gonna happen to me. Check out this Yuji kid, make he watch his back. He had a very similar situation to you. Both of you guys had this, you know, suspended execution. It's just really cool knowing that I was right. I had so much faith that Yuta still was on Gojo's side and that Yuta still believed in the things that Gojo did believe in as well. He said, I need you to look after the first and second years. Like, I need you to look after everyone because you're the next Gojo Satoru. That's pretty much kind of what he's saying. And I love that Akutami went that route and that we really get to see what Yuta's going to become from who we met him from the prequel. And now we're seeing him now after all the things that he's been through. Maybe we'll get lucky and get some flashback stuff what Yuta was doing overseas to give us some more into Yuta's character and maybe how he's changed a little bit over time and has gotten better at Jujutsu sorcery and has gotten more serious. But Yuji still has this backlash. Yuji still feels like he's not good enough, that it's because of him people is being killed. He still has all of this type of regret and he starts beating himself and still feels bad. And Yuta tries to tell him like, we're similar, but the difference is that the power I had that was hurting people, I bestowed upon myself. But the power that you have kind of just fell on you in a weird kind of way. And so it's not really your fault because the power that's doing these things is not really under your control. It's not you choosing to do it. It's cool that Yuta's trying to guide Yuji through it, but I think why it's not clicking for Yuji is because he doesn't really know Yuta. And his first true interaction is him trying to kill him. And you know, now they're finally having a conversation together. Yuta does tell him that the people I care about you. I have to make sure I support you because I'm supporting them by extension. You know, it's such a beautiful thing. So then Megumi comes in. This is when I just start to, this is when I really fall in love with Akutami. The relationship between Megumi and Yuji is so important to this series. And I think that people don't talk about it enough. I think it's something that people don't bring enough to light, just how important these two interact and how important these two feel for each other and how those feelings guide the story. Yuji really felt like he couldn't go back, not only because he killed people, but mainly the first thing he mentioned was, I can't go back because Sukuna wants Fushiguro. I can't set him up. I can't put him in a situation. He saved me and I'm out here killing people and he saved me. And he said to me, you don't know who you save will kill someone tomorrow. And he saved me out of the good conscience of his heart. And all these people are now dead because of me. So he internalizes all of it. All of it falls on him. And Megumi comes in like, what are you doing? We need to get back to the school. Like, the barrier's getting weak. People won't notice you as long as, you know, you don't look them in the face. We could go regroup with the older students. And he usually like, stop, like, don't do that. Don't come back and treat it like everything's normal, treat it like nothing's happened. I kill people. People are dead because of me, you know, like people are gone because of me, you know, and I think it's so beautiful that we see Yuji having this internal struggle because Yuta mentions it where he says, I'm sorry, but I have to live. But Yuta notices he wasn't really fighting his hardest because part of Yuji does believe that maybe I should be dead. Part of him believes me dying really might be the better thing, the better course. And I think that's what makes Yuji something I can relate to because I can understand the questioning of, okay, is what I'm doing really the right thing, even though I'm telling myself it is, and I kind of have people telling me it is, but then this feeling now welling up in me when I look at the results of my decisions, I don't know if this is really true. I don't know if I should really be doing this. And then so he keeps blaming himself and Megumi shuts him up with the, it's our fault. I made a decision too. I chose to save you. It's so crazy to me how people don't talk enough about Megumi and how amazing he is of a character and how he keeps Yuji grounded, but Yuji being talented is what made Megumi realize he needs to fly higher. He needs to be stronger. To achieve what he really wants to, he needs to really attain strength. But his mentality to be a Jujutsu sorcerer has always been keen. It's always been on point. He's always understood the stakes, the things going on, how to process battles. He understood that, but he just has to understand now how to expand past the already knowing. But Megumi says to him, he breaks it down where he's like, people cannot judge us. We're not superheroes fighting for justice. We're Jujutsu sorcerers. We have to prove our existence every day. We have to prove our worth every time we're on the battlefield. And we do that by saving as many people as we can. Surely, Yuji, that's what's been guiding you to do all the stuff you've been doing right now. What a person to not only understand your friend, but to understand the philosophy behind the work you guys have to do where your lives are on the line. More respect needs to be given to this kid. He gets it so well, but just getting it isn't enough. You gotta have the strength to back the decisions that you make. Hence the things that he said after Goodwill in the hospital before the baseball game. His character has been on point since the beginning, people. But I digress. Megumi saying these things awakens Yuji, but also kind of pains him, because he thinks as long as I'm by your side, you're going to be suffering. But what Yuji has to understand is Megumi knows that. But Megumi believes that if you're with me though, it's a suffering I can get through. So start by helping me, Yuji. That is amazing. Megumi getting help to save Tsukimiki is saving him. That's how he feels. It can also be a parallel to whatever Sukuna wants to do with Megumi. Whatever Sukuna wants to do with Megumi will probably lead to Megumi's death. And I think Yuji really feels hit because Megumi's giving him this option that was already done for Yuji. Megumi already saved you. So now he's asking you, he's putting it in your face. He's putting the option on the plate. Save me. Man, I love them too. I love them too. Their relationship is so amazing. I could just talk about them all day because they need each other. They need each other so much right now. And it's such a double-edged sword how they need each other. And it just continues to get bigger and bigger and bigger. But let's continue on with the chapter. Megumi says Tsumiki is ensnared in this culling game made by Noritoshi Kamo, aka BRAIN-KUN. And then we get the rules. The rules pretty much break down to these simple things. I'm not gonna say all 8 rules. I'm just gonna break them down to the simple things. If you've been given a technique by BRAIN-KUN, you have 19 days to enter the barrier he created for the culling game, aka Battle Royale. You have 19 days to enter there or you will lose your technique. The second thing, anyone who enters that little barrier that he makes will be considered a player, whether you've been chosen to be a player by Getsu, aka given a technique, or not. Non-jujutsu sorcerers inside of this thing are worth 1 point. Killing them worth 1 point. Sorcerers are worth 5 points. And you want to accumulate 100 points. What you gain from accumulating the 100 points isn't that you win the game and get to stop playing, it's that you get to add a rule to the game. So that means the game doesn't have an end. So you can get 100 points, add a rule, get another 100 points, add a rule. The thing about the rules is the game master has to accept your rules unless the rules will hinder or stop the game. So Megumi can't go get 100 points and then go, okay, BRAIN-KUN, here's a rule that will activate a loophole that will cause me to get Tsumiki out the game. So that type of plan is out the window. How are they gonna get Tsumiki? Maybe the goal just to let Tsumiki live until the game can be completed? No idea, no clue at all. Then the next thing is, if you don't gain any points or your point stays the same for 19 days straight, you lose your technique. So my question is, if you enter the barrier and you weren't given a technique by BRAIN-KUN, but you don't gain any points for 19 days, do you lose your technique? If one of the rules is you entering and you'll be treated as a player, does that mean all rules apply to you? So what type of stipulation is he doing to where he can remove the technique? The barriers themselves might have these rules attached to them. So when you enter that barrier, you're basically kind of agreeing to a contract. It's like an indirect binding vow, maybe? You can just snatch techniques like that? You can make barriers like that? The power system in Jujutsu Kaisen is expanding. It's getting bigger, it's getting bigger, it's getting bigger, it's getting bigger, it's getting bigger. So much more is happening here. So much more is like being exposed, and so much you can look at and break down and wonder what's gonna happen next. Is now you're gonna come back and join the culling game and try to like use Tsumiki as leverage against Megumi or try to kill Megumi, or is there going to be other Jujutsu High people coming and joining because Jujutsu Highs are like, we can't just let this happen? Or are there going to be a whole bunch of new cursed users that just going to jump in and start getting active? Is Hikari going to fucking pop up? How many civilians are going to die in this situation? How big is the barrier? I'm over here asking questions more than I can give answers and theorize things with y'all. You know, this was a doozy. 143 was a doozy. It looks like this next arc is about to be it. Apparently, the name of the next arc has to do something with fishing, a fishing bowl. Okay, so people were saying that the fish are the players and the bowl is the barrier. The fish in the bowl reference. And that's why we see the fish in the bowl in the Jujutsu Kaisen first opening. And it's also speculation that Nobara might come back next week because Sumiki and Megumi had that moment in the anime. Then the Sunday that we get Sumiki and Megumi being brought up as a focus in the next chapter. So I'm assuming that in the next chapter next week, that because we're getting Friday Nobara and Yuji, we may get some new Nobara information Sunday. I'm hoping we get some new Nobara information Sunday. I need Nobara to wake up, and I am hoping that Megumi is like Yuta, Yuji. Let's go get everyone. The Tokyo students all link up, and then they all hit this motherfucking culling game, and everyone has to work as a unit. Or they all team up, go to the culling game and go, okay, y'all, we have to cover a wide space or whatever. Let's make our groups. Let's make our groups based on abilities and make sure everything is teamed up nicely. Hopefully we get the Megumi, Yuta, Yuji combo. That sounds OP and beautiful. We get them three doing their thing together. Then we get some other team. Maybe we get like a Nobara, a Maki, and a Panda or something like that. Hopefully people wake up soon. You know, that's what I'm hoping. Hopefully stuff like that starts coming around. I don't know, you guys. I'm just excited. I hope you guys are excited. That is all from me, Doncho. I am so glad you guys came back to the Hideout. 143 was an amazing chapter. And like I always say, if you guys like this content, please hit the comment section below. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon so you don't miss anything. And if you want to support the channel monetarily, make sure you hit the Patreon and the coffee links below. We already have some major Patreons and we've been bringing some content to them here and there. So I hope you guys see you there soon. Like I always say, it's me, Doncho. Peace. Young noise.